Hey, what's up, team? Today we're going to be looking at a Q&A that just happened with Daniel Lafonte. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name, but they are a globalization design manager at Amazon Game Studios, and they just did an interview with this news outlet called Sportskeeda about Throne and Liberty's upcoming update. The questions that were asked were not that great. They were clearly fishing for an exclusive on future content instead of digging into how and why AGS is making decisions. So we'll cut through some of the noise and try to break down what exactly is worth paying attention to in this interview. If you guys want to check out the interview and go through it yourselves, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's get into it. So here they ask, the spear is an extremely fun weapon to play around with. Will any new weapons be joining the roster? And they say, well, the spear has been a great addition to players' arsenals, and we're thrilled to how everyone's embraced it. We're amazed by all the builds, player possibilities. I can confirm we're adding more, but you'll have to stay tuned. So that does confirm we are getting new weapons. This is great news. More weapons means fresh new gameplay possibilities, new ways to build and experiment with our classes, and it looks like they're going to be adding more in the future. So yeah, new weapons don't just add variety, they can shake up the meta, create new synergies, give players more ways to customize playstyles, and it also shows that AGS is paying attention to what's working and willing to invest in expanding on those aspects of the game. Of course, the details are going to be under wraps, but at least we know more weapons are coming, and that's something to look forward to. So here they ask the question, will the Hyperboost server feature become a reality for the global release? And the answer is no, we don't have any plans for a Hyperboost server at this time. We believe catch-up mechanics should be integrated into the core game, rather than segregating new players and returning players on separate servers. We want all players to be a part of our unified community. So this is also actually some good news because it means AGS and NCSoft is focusing on long-term built-in catch-up mechanics rather than temporary band-aid solutions like the Hyperboost servers. So yeah, I never really was too big of a fan of the Hyperboost servers, and I'm glad that they're trying to implement more in-game ways to catch people up rather than just introducing these Giga XP, Giga drop rates, everything Hyperboost servers. It also kind of disregards a lot of the work that the veteran players have been putting in. Not that that should be a huge factor, but I know that time put in should be considered, at least to some extent. But yeah, I really like the idea of not having a Hyperboost server and having more in-game ways to catch newer players up. Let's be honest, if you are just starting Throne and Liberty and you do start on a Hyperboost server, you have no idea what's going on. I remember when I started in Korea and that was my first experience on the Hyperboost server, I was literally just speed run through the entire game and the gear progression systems. I had no idea what was happening. Now, to be fair, that was one of the bigger reasons why I did join the Korea version of the game, was because they had that hyper server event going on. But yeah, it just wouldn't be a great experience for a new player, I don't think. So here, they're talking about some events. The studio has introduced a new quality of life feature for dungeons that enable players to extract multiple rewards in one go. Will event-specific dungeons also get the same treatment? And the answer is, we're always looking to improve the experience for our players, and our Halloween event dungeon provided valuable lessons for us. Future events with similar experiences will be adjusted to ensure players can focus on enjoying the content rather than feeling overburdened. Now, this is probably a big win because it shows NCSoft and AGS are actually learning from their past mistakes, specifically about how tedious the Halloween event dungeon was. And instead of just repeating the same grind-heavy design, they're trying to commit to making future event dungeons more streamlined and enjoyable, hopefully. So as you guys know, a quality of life update just happened for dungeons where players can extract multiple rewards in one go. This was already a huge step in the right direction, and now they're trying to apply this mindset hopefully to new event dungeons, meaning less unnecessary tedium, less chores, and more focus on actually playing and enjoying some content. It's a bit reassuring to see AGS and NCSoft recognizing feedback and making adjustments rather than doubling down on frustrating mechanics. If they can keep this up, future events should feel a lot smoother and more rewarding, specifically for dungeons, hopefully. So here they're asking about boss timers and if it's better to have a rotating list of bosses throughout the day, and also if there's any plans to make ARC bosses spawn more than once per week. And it seems like they might have some more information on this when Tico does his talk later this week. But hopefully we get news, especially regarding ARC bosses. I know a lot of people want these weapons, and they're extremely hard to get right now. I hope in the future maybe they can introduce a better way to farm fragments. Obviously it shouldn't be too easy. These weapons are pretty legendary in status, but having a way to farm fragments slowly and progress towards an arc boss weapon would be a step in the right direction, I personally feel like. I'm also interested to see in what improvements that are going to be coming for the boss timers. Maybe we're going to be getting more bosses throughout the day, or some sort of boss selection or something, I'm not sure. So here they ask what's next for Throne and Liberty now that all the servers are effectively on the same playing field. And the answer is we recently returned from Korea where we discussed all the new content we have planned for this year. While we're not ready to share specifics yet, our commitment is to continue delivering compelling content for players to conquer. We're incredibly excited about our future plans for Throne and Liberty and can't wait to share more when the time is right. So, although this might not seem like relevant information or any good news or anything, it's still a great sign because it shows that AGS and NCSoft are making a real effort to stay aligned and work as a team. Now, the fact that AGS traveled to Korea for discussions hopefully means that they are actively involved in shaping the game's future rather than just waiting for NC to make decisions. This hopefully means that our feedback as the Western community is actively being talked about and hopefully has a real impact on the game. So continuing on, this means that future content should hopefully feel more cohesive, less bugs, and rather than disjointed or a bit delayed. It seems like they've been having a lot of version control issues lately, where when Korea pushes an update, the AGS version has version control issues and there's bugs and things get left out. I know this is frustrating for me and probably a lot of you guys when it feels like every other patch small things or big things are breaking. So the big takeaway here is that hopefully both teams are staying on the same page and that it's a solid foundation for the game moving forward. So guys, that just about covers all the main things in this interview. There was quite a bit of fluff, but there's some good signs that AGS is hopefully learning and improving with NCSoft alongside them. So yeah, what do you guys think about the idea of new future weapons coming to the game? And what type of weapons would you guys like to see? I know personally, I would like to see maybe another support type weapon. Maybe something like a harp or a bard type class would be really cool. You could unlock and play different songs to buff your teammates. We just don't have anything currently like that in the game, and I think that would be a really cool concept. So if you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like or a sub. It really helps out. Catch you in the next one.